round tables. Very happy to be here.
Thank you.
Nothing like the round tables.
New show.
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
Well, fourscore many years ago. No, it's really it's a show obviously that's not centered around, but starts out about this ham radio, and the relationship between the father and his daughter, and their dynamic, and obviously they start to talk to each other on this radio and in different times. One 2016, one 1996, but it's very much a character-driven mystery. Obviously there's the time travel aspect, but that's more of a backdrop. I think it's really about how them talking to each other and trying to change, in their minds, the negative effects of the past into good things, but then there's a butterfly effect that causes a ripple in time and changes other things. So you might be saving one person, but then you're maybe killing another, and so I think that it has its own, because people say, is this a time travel genre? I think it's not just that. I think it's very much a relationship character-driven drama, and you see all the things that ensue from them meddling with time and dealing with that. How about me? Yeah. Well,
Let's talk about you. Let's talk about
me. That's the interesting thing about something like this for me is, obviously Raimi and Frank are the catalyst to us getting into this world, and obviously my character is sort of the bridge between both of them. I'm his best friend in turn. I'm like, while he's alive, I'm her fun uncle. His wife Julie, was also a friend of mine, and so I'm very much intertwined in their family. And so I'm sort of the guy in between both the present and the past, who really cares about them and cares about their well-being. And so to see certain dynamics of their personalities come into play because they're talking to each other, in certain respects, I'm looking at them like, what the hell are you talking about? And then eventually it's like, well, how come you're always in the right place at the right time about, doing, how'd you know this information? How'd you get this information? So, as a character, as an actor, I'm looking forward to exploring that along with the audience, and then also my past and role in things, being a detective from 1996 all the way to becoming a lieutenant. That's 20 years, I'm pretty sure Satch has had to get his hands dirty in some way, shape, or form that may be revealed in time throughout the course of the series, and then how does he deal with that then, and then maybe if he ultimately finds out that they're actually talking to each other, that's a whole nother dynamic. So I'm just looking forward to, seeing what these guys come up with.
And you'll be in the different time periods.
Yeah, I go from 96, which is kind of fun because that was a great era, great time in music and fashion, all that kind of stuff, hairstyles, whatever, to the present day where I'm 20 years older. So it is kind of interesting wearing a prosthetic.
So they did give you all the makeup?
It gave me all the thing. I'll show you guys a picture, but so it's an interesting process for me that I haven't gotten to experience before. Just putting on the makeup and doing the whole Magilla,
Yeah.
So that's fun.
How is it like acting 20 years into your future? Kind of like,
it's interesting. It's interesting. I think I look a little older than I would like to. Because I go from maybe between 30 and 32 to 50 and 52.
Uh-huh.
And obviously they have to have a time jump. So I do look a little old. I hope I don't look as old as I'd look in the thing in real life.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not putting down the 50. That's my point. I feel like I'll still have a youthful exuberance at this time, and not be as old as they have me looking. But so this is kind of you want to show, pass it around or whatever. But that's kind of what they did. So it's not bad. I feel like I'm growing older with grace. But it's just fun. I mean, you can't take yourself so seriously. We get paid to play, so I just have fun with it. And
So do they give
and
you
very
what's the prosthetic process that they give you?
Oh man, it's about an hour and a half, 2 hour process.
Wow.
They sort of just put a piece here and a piece sort of to crow's feet the eyes a little bit, and then they add a little gray to the hair and that kind of thing. So it's interesting seeing myself. So I have to move a little bit slower, I guess.
Well, especially if you were a cop, you would imagine that over 20 years.
Over 20 years, yeah.
You might have had some injuries.
Yeah, well, and then also I'm a homicide detective and I'm a
Yeah.
lieutenant, so I'm usually after the fact anyway.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not, chasing down bad guys and shooing up the streets and jumping over hoods of cars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to sort of save the. I know it's interesting. So my level of activity and not having to be the guy on the street, Action Jackson, obviously time would slow them down a little bit. So I try to implement some of that, without being a guy with a walker,
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun.
But do you find yourself in the makeup more, maybe in makeup more often than not because you're dealing with her?
Well, but that's the thing, because especially in episode 2, I'm not going to give too much away, but I do deal with her in the future, but I also deal with her father in the past. Now that after episode 1, she kind of saves him, and then we go on this roller coaster ride. So time sort of goes on, and we start to break down this case together. So it's both. It's sort of a mix between both. It's easier playing the 1996 because I can just go on like this. It's a lot more makeup and a whole other thing when I'm in 2016.
That's all the time we
All
have.
right.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Great talking